Hello everyone, welcome to Q&A Academy. In today's class, we are going to discuss about one of the important and very easy concept in complete number system. That concept is going to be zeros concept. What is this zeros concept? If you multiply or if you add anything, finally what are the zeros you have? Those zeros you'll be calling them as trailing zeros. For suppose to explain about this, let me write one simple example here. I have a number like this which is 36,000. In 36,000, how many zeros I have? How many trailing zeros I have? Trailing zeros means what? After the last digit, how many zeros I have? Those zeros I'll be considering them as trailing zeros. Now here, can you tell me how many trailing zeros I have? I have 3 trailing zeros. Okay, now let me write one more question also. 40563081234 Okay, so in this, now you have to tell me how many trailing zeros I have. In this total, how many zeros I have? Zeros, if I consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros I have. But they are not asking zeros. They are asking the trailing zeros. Trailing zeros means what? After the last digit, how many zeros I have? Those zeros you'll be considering them as trailing zeros. Now after last digit, how many zeros I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer is going to be 5. This is what the exact concept of trailing zeros. Now this is the main approach that we are going to follow in our questions as well. Now how the questions will look, from where they'll be asking the questions, that we will go into the concept now. Now here if you observe, number of trailing zeros in 10, 20 and 30 they're asking. Now what I have to do, they're multiplying 3 numbers and they're asking you to find the trailing zeros for that. Now what I have to do here, I have to multiply, which is 10, 20 and also 30. Now what is 10 into 20? 10 into 20 is nothing but 200. 200 into 30 will be what? 200 into 30 will be 6,000. Now in 6,000, how many trailing zeros I have? 3 trailing zeros I have. This is how you have to find the answer, which is how many trailing zeros you have in 10 into 20 into 30. But the questions, it will not look in the same way. It will not look very easy as well. So little bit of approach they will change, and if you know the approach, the answer is going to be very easy for you. You can solve each and every question within fraction of seconds only in trailing zeros concept. Now here if you see the next question, 2 into 5. 2 into 5, how much? 10. 10 into 10 is nothing but 100. Now, in 2 into 5 into 10, how many trailing zeros you have? 2 trailing zeros you have. Here you have 3 trailing zeros. This is the perfect concept of trailing zeros. Now, what type of questions they'll be asking, sir? If you ask me what type of questions they are going to ask, they'll be asking questions in the form of factorial way. Here, if you see, in 5 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? In 10 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? In 25 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? In the same way, in 100 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? If you have to solve that, first let me take one small example, which is 5 factorial. Can you tell me what is 5 factorial? 5 factorial is nothing but 120. In 120, how many trailing zeros you have? Only one trailing zero we have. That one trailing zero, how we are getting it? That if we can identify, so remaining questions also we can solve in the same way. Now let me take the first part, 5 factorial. 5 factorial means how we will write it? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now here if you observe, if we have to make a trailing zero, which is nothing but finally if we should get 1 0, then definitely you have to get 10. So if you multiply two numbers, if you get 10, then you will be getting one trailing zero. Understood all of you? Now in this complete thing, whatever I have wrote here, in this where I have 5, here I have 1 5, and here I have how many 2's? 1 2 I have. 4 also I can write it as 2 square. Okay, now for 5, if I have only 1 5, I'll be considering only 1 2 and I'll be taking one trailing zero for that. Understood? Now, let me take one more example to give more clarity about this trailing zeros concept. Now, I'll be taking 10 factorial. 10 factorial, if I take, how I have to write this? 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now 10 factorial, I am writing it as 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now from this, what I have to identify? I have to find the how many trailing zeros I have in 10 factorial. Yes or no? If I have to find that, first you should know how many 5s are there in 10 factorial. Can you tell me how many 5s I have in 10 factorial? In 10 itself, I have 1 5 and 1 2. Yes or no? In 8, I have 2's. 2 cube is nothing but 8 or not, which is nothing but I have 3 2's in 8. Yes. In the same way, here if you observe, in 6 also you have 2 into 3. Here also you have 1 2. And here I have only 1 5. That 5 I will be considering. In 4, I have 2 square, and in 2 I have 1 2. So altogether, how many 5s I have? I have 2 5s, which is nothing but 5 square. But how many 2s I have? 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2 power 8 I have. But how many 5s I have? I have only 2 5s. If I have only 2 5s, which is nothing but 5 square, I can take only 2 2's only, which is nothing but 2 square. So if I equal this, I'll get 2 trailing zeros, and that is going to be the concept. Now, every time following this process is very difficult, because for 10 factorial we can write from 10 to 1, but it's not at all possible to write for 25 factorial and also 100 factorial. For such type of things, what you have to do, now I will tell you. With the same example, how we can find the answer very easily, I will tell you that. Now, 10 factorial. So here in 10 factorial, definitely you can observe we have more 2's when compared to 5 or not. When compared to 5, we have 6 extra 2's. In the same way, any number of factorial you take, definitely if you compare with 5, there they are going to be more number of 2's. Then what you are going to do, if you identify how many 5's you have in 10 factorial, and that is going to be perfectly sufficient to solve the question. Now here if you observe how to identify how many are there, how many 5's are there in 10 factorial. If I divide with 5, 5 2's how much? 10. Now how many 5's are there in 10 factorial? 2 are there. If you have 2, directly you can keep 2 zeros, and that is going to be your answer. Understood? In the same way, we will try one more question also. Now we will try to find 25 factorial. 25 factorial. In 25 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? You have to identify that. If you have to identify that, first thing what you have to do, you have to divide with what? You have to divide with 5. If you divide with 5, 5 5's how much? 25. Okay, anyway, reminder, you will be not taking it. Here, whatever you have, 5, that 5 you will be considering. Again, 5 also, you can divide with 5 or not? Yes. 5 ones how much? 5. So, 5 plus 1. Total how much we have? 6. So, in 25 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? 6 trailing zeros you have. Now, we'll try to solve 100 factorial. In 100 factorial, how many trailing zeros we have? 100 factorial if I have to solve. First thing what I have to do, I have to divide 100 with 5. If I divide 100 with 5, how much I will be getting here? 5 25's, which is nothing but 100. Yes or no? Now, first how many I have to take? 25 I have to take. But if you observe here, 25 also I can divide with 5 or not? Yes, of course I can divide with 5. So 5 5's, which is nothing but 25. Again I will be getting 5 zeros. Again 5 also I can divide with 5 or not? Yes, 5 ones I will be getting 5. So 25 plus 5 plus 1 is nothing but 31. So in 100 factorial, how many trailing zeros I have? 31 trailing zeros I have. All of you understood, I guess. Let me solve few more questions based on this. Now, I will solve in 46 factorial how many trailing zeros we have. If I take 46 factorial, so I have to divide with what? 5. 5 nines how much? 45. Anyway, remainder I will not take care, but whatever 9 I have, so I will consider them as 9 fives I have. But if you observe, in 9 also you have 1 5 or not? 9 if you divide with 5, 5 ones how much? 5. So the remainder is 4. So 4 again you cannot divide, or 1 again you cannot divide. So 9 plus 1 altogether how much it is? 10. So in 46 factorial, how many trailing zeros you have? 10 trailing zeros you have. Let me solve one more question also, which is 152. I will be solving it. Now for 152, what I have to do? First thing, I have to find how many 5s I have. 5 2s 10, 52, sorry, 5 3s 15, 5 30s, it will be 150. So how many I have here? 30. Again 30 also I can divide with 5 or not? So 5 6 30. So 30 plus 6 I have to take. Again 6 also I can divide with 5. 5 ones 5. Again 1 I have to take. So 30 plus 6 plus 1 how much? 37, and that is going to be your answer. Hope all of you understood the concept of trailing zeros. So up to now, whatever I have discussed, each and every concept is very important. Definitely in every competitive exams, they are going to ask at least 1 or 2 questions from these concepts. So all of you practice all the questions what I have discussed in these videos, and in future also I am going to do more questions on number system. So thank you everyone. Thank you for watching.